नित्यानन्देश्वर सदाशिवसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि आदिशक्तिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the MSS graduates, Inner Awakening graduates, Nithyanandam participants who are sitting with us all over the world at this time through Nithyananda TV, two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha all over the world. I'll continue on biology of the Guru-disciple relationship. I already gave the basic introduction and explanation about the physics, chemistry, now biology. Biology also I already introduced in the last session. I'll continue to expand on one more dimension of the biology of Guru-disciple relationship. First dimension I explained last time, not taking Guru for granted. Second, but foremost component is oneness. Please listen. Listen to this very carefully. When Arunagiri Yogeshwara gave me the oneness experience, when my own Guru gave me oneness experience, I neither felt I am lower than him, nor felt I am higher than him, or felt I am equivalent with him. I realized I am one with him. Listen, if you are filled with SDHD, you will feel you are lower than me. If you are filled with the stupidity, you will feel you are higher than me. If you are carrying the subtle jealousy pattern, please understand, jealousy pattern never pulls you down or puts you up. Jealousy is such a complicated pattern. It always gives you ups and downs. By very existence, jealousy sometimes makes you feel up, sometimes make you feel down. Jealousy is the only pattern who can create two problems. Understand? Jealousy can behave sometimes as a girlfriend, sometimes as a wife. It can do both the job. It can put you high and down. It's too difficult. When you are carrying the pattern of jealousy, you will feel you are equivalent to me. Understand? All three is not true. You are neither lower than me, nor higher than me, or equivalent to me. We both are one. That's the truth. You are one with me. Understand? Understand these nuances, nitty-gritties of this oneness. Oneness does not need practice. Anything which is not there for you to achieve, that only you need practice. Listen. If you think you don't have money, to get money you need to do certain practice. You need to do a job, you need to do a profession, you need to do a career, you need to do something to get the money. If you think you don't have name and fame and you want the name and fame, you need to do something to get the name and fame. Whatever you don't have, you need to work for it. For oneness, you don't need to work for it. You just need to realize it. Realize its existence. Understand? If you just understand why you are not realizing oneness, that is enough. You will realize oneness. That's the beauty of oneness. If you are filled with SDHT, you will feel you are less than me. Understand, any feeling you are less than me is abuse of me. Be very clear. It is not humbleness. Just few days before, we were having some situations, we were facing some things. My first circle, which supports me in running the Sangha, asked me, "What is this, Swamiji?" I said, "I will never question Sadashiva. I will never question him with your logic. I am a simple, humble devotee. If what we want happens or does not happen, I will never question him. When I surrender to him with that devotion, he gives me the experience, whatever happens is a victory." And I am seeing whatever is happening is leading to bigger, greater victories. Listen. I asked the people in front of me, "Oh, you guys want me to question Mahadeva? Question Sadashiva?" No. Even you feeling stressed is abusing Sadashiva. Feeling stressed means what? So you are questioning life given by him? So you are going to question him? No. No question of questioning him. I am a chaste disciple, follower. No question of questioning him. Don't tell Sadashiva how big your problems are. Tell your problems how big your Sadashiva is. Come what may, I will not question him with our logic. Listen. You feeling you are lower than me is no way respecting me. Neither you feeling you are higher than me. If you have that feeling, it's a stupidity. So don't eat. Don't even feel you are equivalent to me. Word equivalent comes from unequivalent. The very existence of the word equivalent is not Advaita, it is Dvaita. Equivalent and unequivalent. Even that comes from the pattern of jealousy. On foundation of jealousy, it is standing. You are one with me. Understand? I'll explain the nuances and nitty-gritties of oneness. The moment I utter the word oneness or Advaita, you visualize some ideas. Maybe a great guru was a symbol of Advaita like Ramana Maharshi or Punjaji Maharaj or Papa Ramdas or whoever you know as a symbol of Advaita, Bhagavan Nityananda or whatever, Muktananda, whoever. Unfortunately, all your visualizations are restricted to length, breadth. And please listen, this is the most important thing you need to understand. For one word, if you visualize one idea and that idea is not leading you to the depths of that experience of that word's meaning, you are stuck, you are stopped, and you don't proceed further, and you are just breaking your head. Neither that word becomes a reality for you, nor you are able to get out of that idea of that word. Listen. If I utter the word Advaita or oneness and you are stuck with something related to length, breadth, and does not go to the depths of length, breadth, depth, time, space, you will continue to keep that word inside you as undigested food. Undigested food does every possible mess. Not only for you, even people cannot sit around you. Undigested word does the same thing. Not only harasses you, nobody can sit around you. You will be vomiting those words on everyone. Listen intensely. Advaita is the existence beyond this 5 dimension, spreading in all these 5 dimensions. A simple example. Everyone thinks seeing the Ramana Maharshi's photograph, serene, calm, thinking that whole day he was just sitting. No. He used to grind idli flour. My grandfather told me, every day he has seen Bhagavan cutting vegetables, washing his cows, cleaning the floor. If you think Bhagavan was all the time lying on that couch, fanning himself and blessing people, you know only length and breadth. You don't know depth, time, space. It's a simple example. Inactive experience of the existence as a screen life is real life, not real life. Understand, much of your real life has been reduced to real life because you don't cross length and breadth. When you don't cross length and breadth, you are not living real life. It is all real life. Even if you think you are sitting in Rajya Sabha now, if your perceptions are not crossing length and breadth of the words I am uttering, you are only living real life, not real life. The depth of experience makes whether you are living a real life or real life. Whether it is Length, breadth, depth, time, space are just length, breadth and length. By the time it crosses length, breadth, if it is just LBD, it is not real life, it's real life. Listen, I'll give you the example. My tongue is one with me. That is why it is making all the sounds I wanted to make. But even this tongue has to move along with me. Only the people who move along with me are in oneness with me. Be clearly informed. People who move along with me are in oneness with me. The oneness word is used by most of our guys to cheat themselves. If you are understanding oneness as just a declaration, it is only length, breadth. If you understand oneness means not only you will exist as me, you will move along with me, then you will manifest as me. Only then it's a real life. LBDTS. Length, breadth, depth, time, space. If not, it's LB, real life, not real life.